So he says in verses 7 and 8, look at this. So I prophesied as I was commanded, and as I was prophesying, there was a noise and a rattling sound, and the bones came together, bone to bone. And I looked, and the tendons and the flesh appeared on them, and the skin covered them, but there was no breath in them. Then we learn the second lesson. That the Word of God and the Spirit of God work together to achieve the purpose of God. He said to me, prophesy to the breath, the Spirit, prophesy, Son of Man, and say to it, this is what the Sovereign Lord says, come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe into these slain, that they may live. The word for breath, of course, is ruach. Breath, wind, spirit, the same word translates all of those things. In Genesis 1, we see the mighty wind, the breath of God, the Spirit of God, like a mighty wind rushing over the face of the unformed earth, bringing form and order and life wherever it goes. It's the Spirit who is the breath of life. And here Ezekiel is being taught that the Word of God proclaimed by a human voice is carried by the recreating Spirit of God to achieve a creative work in the hearts of people, of men and women. This is what is being portrayed to us here. It is the creative Spirit of God. The Spirit of God acts with and alongside and in the Word of God to achieve the purpose of God. That's the way it was in the beginning. God said, let there be light, and there was light. It was the Spirit doing it, but doing it in obedience to the Word of God, along with the Word of God, energizing the Word of God, so that it was by the Word of God that the heavens were created. And it's by the Word of God that faith is created. Faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the Word of God. So that as we speak the Word of God to people, as we expound the Word of God to people, as we proclaim the Word of God to people, a miracle of grace happens by which the Spirit of God takes words uttered by a human voice that are the words of God and drives them into the heart and mind of men and women and boys and girls, and not only drives them in, but creates life within people, creates new life, a new creation in the hearts and minds of men and women and boys and girls.